Hi everybody, welcome back to Row in Town. We're going to complete the figure work now in that Class 150. This is going to be a very small video because I've done most of the work already by adding the sound. And you can see that footage up here in parts 1 and 2. I'm continuing my Class 150 work. I am basically adding some figurines into this unit. And for that I am going to use some of this stuff, some contact adhesive Gorilla Glue. I've got myself the obligatory cocktail stick to help put the glue on. I've got some tweezers. Woo, hopefully they are going to do the job. So I've got my Class 150 locomotive body just here. Going to use that as a bit of a reference because I don't really want the people to be in the centre. So I think like Spider-Man, because he's quite a good character, I have the stick, I think. Yeah. So let me just get some of the contact adhesive out. I'm going to put it over here so that I don't lean on it by accident. And start putting some figures in. So I painted hopefully you can see, I've actually painted in the seats, and I just used an acrylic blue. I've put a little bit of whitewash, sort of white with a touch of black in it, just to try to brighten up these areas just here. I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be behind some glass. Maybe I've gone overkill, but I think it should look quite nice. So I'm going to stick a little bit of blue on this seat here. Now I understand that if you use something like super glue, you can have a bit of an issue whereby these people look quite large, don't they, compared to the seats. So either something's going on with the seats, either they should probably be further down, but anyway. Spider-Man is now in one place. Like I've said, I've got a number of these characters just here to pop in and situate in, so I'll go put a couple in the front as well, just so they are visible probably right in the middle. So let me get my glue again and pop one sort of there. I'll be quite liberal with that, I think. And I'm going to stick one over here as well. Maybe a couple there actually. So we've got a woman who's reading a book. Let's stick about there. I probably don't need tweezers because they're not that difficult, and I'm not speed setting. What else we got? We've got somebody else sitting down. I think that needs a bit more glue on there. And I'm going to bring this one, which sits in the other unit, And I'm going to put a few people in this one. Obviously the other one is a bit more compromised, so let's stick some people in here. Here is all the characters in the Class 150 motor end. Obviously it's the number 1 end, right? So they all are. Hopefully you can see them. In the number 2 end, as you can see, there's a little bit of paintwork on the floor, but I don't think you're going to see that, to be fair, when the body's on. I've got a few more people to add into that, but I think that's looking remarkably good. Unbelievably, I ordered these yesterday and they arrived today, so I shall give these a paint and see if I can add them in, and then the whole project, sound and people in the Class 150, will be complete. I removed the cab from the Class 150 engine, the locomotive, and I've managed to glue him in. And I'm hoping that that's going to fit straight back in the cab. It's fairly straightforward to remove, sort of have to wiggle it a little bit and it does pop out. There's these little clips on here. I think if you just pull the plastic body apart ever so slightly, it will fit in. I'm going to fit that in and then I'm going to reassemble the entire locomotive with passengers, and I'm hoping it's going to look brilliant. There you go. There is my driver. So I've pushed the figure in and he's now in the cab. Hopefully you might be able to spot that he's wearing a white shirt with a green tie. So yeah, I've now got a driver embedded. So it's time now to put the whole thing together with passengers and get it on the track and give it a spin. Now it's time to put all this together. I've got my passengers and I've got my crew. I'm kind of hoping that my passengers are not going to get in the way of my capacitor. That's where that will go. I'm just going to go and find the 3 screws that I've got. Oh, before I put those on, of course I need to connect up the metal conduit bracket. Just to empty some of these. We've got these little metal bits just here that are used to take power up and over. Just going to reference my other train, see which way they are. So you go something like this. So there you go, like that. They fit on there, like so. And whilst doing that, you've got to screw it in place as well at the same time. It goes that way around. They do clip over those little bits of plastic there to hold them in place. So it's quite a nifty little design. So they go all right. These ones are very troublesome indeed. Voila! All done. That should be good for the lighting. I'm going to put a little bit of black insulating tape just there to hold the capacitor out of the way. Hopefully that is not going to get in the way of the body. However, we will soon see. And the body, 2 screws, 1 screw at the front. They are all clipped in, I believe, correctly. Now you have 1 screw which is long that sits at the front, 2 screws that are short that sit at the rear. And you need a screwdriver which is very slender on the neck. I'm just going to carefully turn that upside down. The screw goes in here. Fortunately, I don't think these are magnetised. There is a delicate aerial just there. I'm just going to pop it on here for a second. So that one's in. Fortunately, I've got another 2 short ones. So here is the finished Class 150 with passengers in. Hopefully you can spot Spider-Man, but I think it looks realistically pretty decent.
We've now added the figures, the sound, and the Class 150 is now fully operational. So I'd like to thank you very much if you got to the end of the video, and if you have, don't forget to hit the like button. If you haven't already and you would like to be, don't forget to hit the subscribe and also the notification bell to be emailed every time I post a new video. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in another video. Bye for now.